us.
Ooh, unmuting. Never thought that would happen.
Unmuting.
All right.
Hey, everybody.
I'm just going to bring up the stream on my phone so I can read what people say. But yeah.
All right. So we're
Yeah.
going into round one, Santtu versus Kams. Not sure when we're going to get a game invite, but I guess the first thing that you can do is you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, yeah. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Johaggis. I am a current Team Aretuza, former Team Rankstar with Trinet back in the day member. And I've done a bit of casting for other events, but certainly this is my first time casting with Trinet and very excited to be here.
Good to have you here. Looking forward to the event. Okay, so let's hop over to the round one deck lists. We know we are going to be seeing Santtu and Kams. I have Santtu's lists up first over here. So he's brought a Rocket Swarm, Uprising, and Second Wind. Anything in particular in these lists really stand out to you?
Yeah. So the Arrakis Swarm list in particular, I think is very unique. We've seen a decent amount of Gurnakora or Fruits of Isgith ethereal lists coming up recently, but this is one of the first Arrakis Swarm versions I've seen. It looks a lot like lists from previous seasons, but with Oniromancy, ethereal, and the Apiarian. That's how it said, Phantom.
Aparian Phantom? I'm not sure.
Anyways, I'm very excited to see how it does. Certainly the deck list has put up some results in the past, but it was always a little underwhelming, but Ethereal kind of changes the whole game.
Yeah, notably he's still playing Lusty Warp, even though you've got Ethereal sort of conflicting with those ones. But
Maybe
yeah,
he's reading the Dragon Stream, eat all the Ethereals at the end.
Ooh, Azar tech for all those syndicates that we're going to see.
Exactly.
Yeah, that looks pretty much like a list from a couple months ago, I think. This Uprising deck takes advantage of a couple new cards. We've got Redea NR with Amphibious Assault and then Neuromancy.
And Karak Frigate.
Yeah, Karak Frigate as well.
Which is proving to be an absolute house. Very excited to see these NR lists really taking the reins here. I think I've seen at least like 4 different lists from this tournament already, just for Uprising. I mean, and I guess there is actually a second viable leader now in the fall test for Blue Stripes Commando, but definitely excited to see a lot of different like high variance in the NR actual deck list, even if the leaders tend to be Uprising.
Yeah, I haven't delved through all the lists for the tournament. Most of the NR that I've seen has been Uprising. I'm not sure if people brought Inspired Zeal, but yeah, lots of variety among the Uprising lists that I looked at. Lastly, we have Second Wind. This looks to just be pretty stock soldiers.
If you've played on ladder, you've seen this deck.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything all that strange coming out of Santtu's Second Wind list.
Maybe sometimes people don't play 2 blacksmiths. I'm not sure.
I don't even know. Yeah. Okay. Next, let's look at the other players' lists. Next up, we have Kams, who brought Overwhelming Hunger, Imperial Formation, and Second Wind. So starting off with the Overwhelming Hunger, we've got Haunt and Oberon. I believe he's Devotion. I'm not saying anything.
Yes, it appears he is. Either that or these NL Conquerors are getting real weird.
There's also NL Conquerors. Yep.
But yeah, I'm definitely pretty excited to see this go. People have been experimenting a lot with different Wild Hunt lists. I personally have been plugging double Oberon for a long time, which is using Karanthir and Death Shadow. But I'm very excited to see the Overwhelming Hunger list, which has seen some appearances on ladder, although it has yet to be, I guess, widely adopted. But yeah, keeping that the Devotion for the strong 7/4s and the of course, Oberon Conqueror. So very excited to see how this all turns out. And of course, Winter Queen also has Thrive, I suppose, if you have Devotion.
Yeah, a lot of people excited to see what Wild Hunt was going to do with expansion. Hasn't done a ton on ladder from what I've seen. No one in chat seems to be super high on Wild Hunt stuff, but seeing it in round one, piloted by a, pretty important player, right? Kams? He's qualified for multiple opens before.
Yeah, this might be a good testing ground for it.
Yeah. At least he decided it's worth playing.
Yeah, although I guess testing also when there's like actual money on the line might be
yeah, like there's some indication that he knows what he's doing, right? Mm-hmm. He thinks this deck's good.
Yeah, fair.
Next up, we have this Imperial Formation deck with the new Brothans. He's still playing Stefan Skellen, Marl, Uh, New Amnesty.
Yeah. This is interesting because it's like there's a lot that we've seen before, but like how I mean maybe not quite as extreme as how Ethereal might change the game with the Rocket Storm. We are gonna potentially see a new angle for this. Cards like Brothans are pretty high impact, lean a little more into the assimilate side of things as well. Even if it's just a utility card, the extra couple of points could be big there. Um, there's no, and in fact, I think he's taking the place of Damien, which is kind of a bold call for the way this list tends to play.
I mean, damage
Uh,
information's not worth that many points, right? It's just resetting your 8-point leader.
that's true. You're absolutely right about that, but it's been a staple for so long of that list that it is interesting just to be like, yeah, 13 for 11 is not good enough. We're kicking it up to whatever Brothans is worth.
Nilfgaard golds,
11,
man.
12.
Nilfgaard golds have been bad for the longest time.
This is true, man. I think that's part of why people are like, whoa, Nilfgaard's real strong this patch because they're just like having good golds. Wild.
Your deck doesn't lose to a Drowner anymore? Wait, whoa, crazy.
But Morale still does. So we'll see if it faces the actual same weaknesses. Of course, with Molina not really being in the meta anymore, and Drowner only sometimes being in the meta, maybe there'll be less movement.
Yeah. And then lastly, we have Kams on the second wind list, which again is pretty normal. Single greatsword, single warrior. Curious, these are just the same list.
Yeah, I don't think there's really a whole lot to say about the second wind list. I guess if you want to talk about the list more generally, it is a mid-range warrior list. It tends to play heavy on the removal and has a lot of sort of incidental points. Like, oh, look, I got 6 points from Turkey. I got 5 points on Skjordal, and the rest of it is all like focused in removal, which makes it pretty strong against a lot of decks, even in a long round, just from high base values and stopping what your opponent's doing. It is proven to be pretty dangerous, and has certainly been a terror on ladder.
True, true. Even after the hotfix, seems everyone is still all about the Skellige.
Yeah, dropped what's his face, Hammond to be a second Drummond Berserker, and shipped the same list.
Yeah, chat mentioned that there is a difference. Kams
Oh,
is playing Skjal, whereas Santtu is playing Grimmist.
Interesting. So Skjal being just a big old point slam card, particularly deadly on red coin, whereas Grimmist is basically mirror tech to stop the opposing Turkey from blowing up a high value target like Hemdall.
Yep.
Or your greatsword, I guess.
Sounds about right. So, I don't know when we're going to be getting into the first game.
Yeah, I think it's estimated 5 to 10 minutes. So for those of you who are just here for the game, take a breather, get a drink of water. I've got a water bottle here, so I'll be doing that.
So I guess while we're waiting, have you been playing anything cool on ladder?
Well, I forced you to play my double Oberon deck. I don't know how that worked out for you, but that was definitely the coolest thing I've made this season. Although I've also been rocking Blaze of Glory with a bit of a discard package, which has been a lot of fun. And I also have War of Clans, which catches some people off guard when suddenly I have a second Thunder. So that's pretty fun.
Yeah, War of Clans into the on-crate 4 provision guy that deals 3 damage is just 5 damage. It's like half of Alibor.
It's 2 points away from another Skjordal, and Skjordal's kind of busted.
Skjordal is kind of busted.
But yeah, certainly that's been a lot of fun. I've tried to make Firesworn work. I couldn't do it. I've kind of given up on Syndicate, and had a bit of fun with Spies Nilfgaard, not doing amazing. Had a lot of fun with Carrick Frigates, but now people know to kill them. So, been sort of mixed experience. Currently my highest ladder score is still Monsters with double Oberon, and I don't understand why. But maybe I will one day. I think I peaked at 2490 in 25 games, which I was pretty proud of.
Nice.
I don't know. I think it's just enough people didn't know how the deck worked that they just gave me a lot of games. I went something like 19-5, and 1 draw or something. So that worked out real well. But What about you? How's rank 1? You still
Oh, it's wonderful. It's
chilling right
wonderful.
below?
You queue into all sorts of piles.
Oh man.
I was playing Shaggy's Assimilate deck earlier tonight, which has a Cantarella in it. There was one game against Blue Stripe Scouts where I stole his Pavetta in round 1 and also stole his Roche Merciless in round 1.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he didn't concede. So we
I
just kind of sat there and
uh,
played a very embarrassing game of Gwent.
I'm not gonna lie, I hate Blue Stripes Commandos, and the reason why is because so a couple days ago I bled out his Pavetta and his Blue Stripes Commandos, and he played Renew. And then yesterday I was like, all right, well it's probably got Renew, and then he just like Onirimancy for Draug, and I'm like, okay, guess I lose to the other condition. I just hate guessing whether they're playing Draug or Renew and trying to base whether I push around that. Open
Yeah.
deck list when.
Open decklist Gwent. Yeah, all the games we're going to be seeing today, both players will have full information about the opponent's decklists. Tends to
Yeah,
lead to
so
some very unique plays that you wouldn't see on ladder when people just like
right.
know that there's no tall removal left.
I mean, honestly, Devotion has been great for me. I can be like, is this person cheating me with Igni? Oh, there's a neutral card, probably. And that's
Oh.
been certainly a very big improvement over just losing to a bunch of random Ignis.
Less random Ignis, way fewer bomb heavers than really there should be. I don't know if there's a lot of like artifact decks on Pro Ladder, but I feel like every time I play an artifact deck, a rank 1, it just feels like cheating.
Yeah, there's a lot of like Masquerade Ball running around. Some people have been running bomb heavers. I think for this tournament we're gonna see a lot of bomb heavers because I don't think anyone wants to lose to Masquerade Ball. So yeah, we'll see. I think everyone basically is bringing Second Wind or some Skellige card deck that they expect to get banned. So that means that getting Nilfgaard through is potentially a big deal. And thus I do expect to see a lot of bomb heavers today.
Yeah, Kams has a single bomb heaver in his lineup, just in his Imperial Formation deck.
Yeah, I suppose his hunger list doesn't care. Maybe
Yeah,
it should. I don't
I
know.
don't know. Santtu has one in his Arrakis list, and I
The
believe one in his Uprising. And just
The
got like a
hunger
who
list is
cares?
also, now that I'm looking at it, very bold. He has no in-deck consumes outside of Haunt and his leader. So if the Haunt gets answered, he is very light on consumes. This means that he has to use his 3 leader charges and the Desert Banshee, all consuming his targets, or he's going to miss something
He doesn't
if
have a
his
lot of
Haunt gets answered.
Deathwish units though, right? It's Werecat, Maruna, and then 2 off to Detlaf.
No, there's also Goliath.
But you don't want to
Which
consume
should
Goliath.
trigger. Oh no, sorry, I just meant for triggering Haunt.
Oh, oh.
And the Noon Wraiths as well. But yeah, certainly having very few consumes means that it's less likely we'll see things like using Overwhelming Hunger to eat a late Egern.
Sure. Unless the haunt sticks, in which case you get to
Yeah.
yeah.
If the Haunt sticks, great.
Yeah, exactly.
You got it made.
And again, with open deck lists, now you know what you have to play towards. So knowing your opponent
That's
has a
true.
bomb heaver, you might want to like use your Yigan in round 1 rather than save it plus the consume for round 3.
Right. According to Shadowplay, some feature matches had people not check in, and so matchups changed because of challenge. So stand by. I don't
Oh
know if just
no.
changed, but I will keep an eye on this. It looks like Santtu and Kams did both check in though, so we will be.
Is it getting
set for that.
shuffled or they're just replacing people?
I'm not sure. Hang on. Okay, apparently Green Knight and Cyber has changed, I think.
Okay.
So those people, so that should be the only feature match that's different. I don't know what it's changing to. But yeah. Actually, do I have to like be friends with Wasubi in order to receive this invite? I don't think I am on. I don't think he's on my friends list. Well, we'll
I'm
see.
not sure. Haven't said we'll be receiving invites shortly, so I guess they'll get to us a little bit
Yeah.
after.
True. Oh, we do have the bands already though. So we
Ooh.
can talk about that.
Yeah.
So it looks like, according to Santtu, who is on red, Santtu banned SK and Kams in a shocking twist banned SK.
Surprise, surprise. We won't be seeing the SK decks.
Yeah. Although it looks like in the Aloha versus Freddy Babes match, Freddy banned monsters instead of the other thing. Oop.
Tournament match will start soon.
Ho ho ho! Look at this.
Let's see if this will work.
Begin. So should I hit? I just hit play, right?
I don't know.
I'm gonna click it and see what happens. Well, okay, hold on. Let me ask them actually before I do anything that could fuck over the tournament.
Remember, don't hit F5.
Yep.
I guess while we're waiting for confirmation, I'll switch the view back to our cameras.
Fair. Let me tag Wasubi. Imagine that Shadow Player Red is a little more busy right now.
Yeah, I don't know what each of their roles is for organizing this.
Fair. Oh, CP money is getting back to me. You have up to 10 minutes to accept it. But, okay, that didn't really answer my question, but...
Okay, I'm gonna click play.
Okay.
Think. Yeah.
I will as well. Here we go.
Okay. I don't want to, miss part of the game.
Okay, he says you can go ahead and accept it. It'll put you into a waiting area.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we're in the match already, it seems.
Are in the game.
Wow, very excited to see this. Never seen this spectator client before, so...
It's exciting. Well, we saw it for... We never saw it live, but we saw it for the opens, right? I think it's the same?
That's true, yeah. Oh yeah, it's gonna have the strange mulligan thing where they it looks like they banish cards.
So we got Kams over here on blue coin with his Wild Hunt Overwhelming Hunger deck, with Santtu on red coin with his Johaggis mid-range ethereal deck.
Now, I believe it is the case that we're going to be trying to put blue coin on the bottom a lot of the time.
Yes.
And there is a way to flip perspectives. I'd have to look up what it is again.
F4.
I think it's like F2, F4. Okay, dangerously close to F5.
I know. Yep, we said the same thing. The only reason I remember it.
Yep. All right. So yeah, looks like we are seeing a very bronze heavy proactive hand from Kams, which is probably exactly what he's looking for on this coin. Now we do see the ethereal already in Santtu's hand. I imagine he saves that for round 3, but I could see him potentially using it early in round 1 to just sort of establish dominance and force Kams to lose uneven.
Yeah, possibly. Immediately taking the removal on half of the Indrega larva there. Putting Kams down a Thrive unit. And he's got to make the decision of whether he wants to commit an engine. And he does play a Parian Phantom.
Yeah, and I can hover stuff now? This is... Oh my god.
Yeah,
The hands are spliced together. It's like I've got Gwent's Observer on.
I got to obs and commentate. Okay. Second natural selection on the second larva. Taking care of that as well. Back over to Kams.
Now, Santtu is playing pretty low tempo here, just taking out those larvae. I'm wondering whether this indicates something about his push. Certainly going ethereal here is slow enough that Kams would have a pass, so he might be trying to save that. Maybe we'll see something like the Beast instead.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for him to come back into this round, though. I don't think he has a way to straight up kill this Yigern, and with just 3 points in play, staring down a Parian Phantom and a 13 provision Yigern, maybe the play is just to play your bronzes and get out.
Yeah, that does seem like what Santtu's going for. Plays another very low tempo play in the Night Wraith with no consumes even on board. So it does seem like Santtu is basically playing the play 3 bronze cards and get out strategy.
Yeah, now Kams can either commit more here, and given that he has bronzes in hand, I'm sure he's going to. But another thing is, he knows his list. He knows that there's, I believe, nothing in Santtu2x's list that could take this in one, so if he just wants the long round, passing
Yeah, I
was a
kind of
consideration.
imagine that Kams really wants to push and end round and have round 3 with like Ozreal, Detlef, Higher Vampire, and something else. Maybe even being okay going a card down or something. Just because Santtu, on the other is really looking for a long round with his Ethereal, Apiary, and Phantom, those kinds of things.
For sure. You only need so long of a round for Ethereal, though. It does run out of space. I guess he's got enough consumes that maybe that won't be an issue. But without Granacora, there's only so many tokens you can put in front of it, too.
That's true, that's true. Although, I mean, Araka's Nest on its own being 5 tokens is certainly not nothing.
For sure, for sure.
So Cam's, keeping a fairly high-powered hand. Notably, does have the Ice Frost Queen of Frost, Queen of Winter, still in deck.
Yeah.
Which does mean that his Red Riders represent a lot of tempo and pressure. But immediately slamming that Ozreal for a full of 14. Maybe perhaps denying Santtu the ability to yoink it from under his feet.
Getting the first Ozreal down while there's only the one target, developing a bunch of tempo while on 7 cards. Looks to be
Does seem pretty good.
wanting to push this round.
Yeah, we are going to see the Eagern come down here with 8 armor, which means it would have to take 4 full hits of Frost in order to be destroyed.
And you really don't want to be trying to frost down a Yigern when your opponent has consumes.
Well, I guess Kams figures he got what he needed.
Ozreal for Yigern trade. Interesting. You get the Aparian Phantom too, but I mean Ozreal's a big one. Is there like some kind of tar removal in Santtu's list that makes him
let me check.
But like there's other things going tall, right?
The tall removal is if he has dominance and plays Imlerith. Yeah, I don't think there's other tall removal in this list.
Yeah, well, looks like that's the trade we're getting. Phantom and Yigern.
What do we see? Oniro for a bronze? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just getting that back on top of the deck.
It seems like Kams is really figuring that he's got this long round made. I kind of figured that Santtu has the same impression, or rather that Santtu believes he has the long round made. So if we're seeing two decks that are very confident in their long round, I'm very curious to see how this plays out.
Do you think either of these players has played this matchup before?
Maybe not. I guess it is pretty unusual. I can do things like check their deck too, right? Oh my god!
You can do it all.
I just went to go like all tabs of the deck list. I didn't even have to do that.
Now, notably, there is this Werecat against Ethereal. So if Ethereal does get out of control, there is just this Lacerate sitting in Kams' hand that he can use.
Yeah, I'm also just looking at Kams' deck. Like, man, he missed some important stuff. He missed Oberon, Haunt, and Maruna, and he's getting only one of those 3. Of course, Maruna is... Well, I don't know. Maybe Maruna would be yoinking Ethereal and make his own Ethereal engine start, but...
Maruna's less of a big deal than the other 2, but missing both Haunt and Oberon is a big loss. Now, compare this to what Santtu is missing. He's missing Glusty Warp and Wrath, but he has a Neuromancy to get one of them, so...
Yeah, and I don't even know how important Wrath is in this matchup.
I don't know how important...
Maybe killing the enemy Goliath could be big?
Yeah. If the Goliath dies, then Noonwraith or Glusty pops out of the deck. So Noonwraith, hopefully.
But we are seeing here the tactic that I believe you employed in the Aretuza World Cup at play in Santtu, or rather in Kams' case, which is if you don't draw the scenario, they're keeping a bricked Bomb Heaver.
It's true. It's true. There is a Bomb Heaver in Santtu's list.
Yeah. In fact, it's in his hand as well, and it is gonna hit. I don't know. Maybe he pulls the Haunt anyways. I guess it depends on how he values Haunt versus Oberon. You gotta imagine Haunt has more points, but if he's worried about the Bomb Heaver, that Bomb Heaver might do its job.
It changes everything.
Yeah, Bomb Heaver.
Anyway, a big Werecat comes down, clearing out 3 Arrakis drones and damaging 3 of the Ethereals.
Yeah, so I guess this is the right time to do it, as it's not really going to get more value than that, but it is also the sort of the main punish against Ethereal. I suppose it's also going to come back for round 2 at some point. Now we're seeing the Red Riders pop out to
Queen.
Yeah, get the Winter Queen. That's the name of it, Queen of Winter, whatever. And that establishes now two Thrive engines on board. Getting that 8 points from Red Riders. Definitely the reason to play Frost right here.
3 Thrive engines, actually. Don't forget Werecat has that ability, too.
Oh, I was actually forgetting about Bruxa, which is weird because that's the more standard one. But, I guess
Werecat does it all. He slashes,
how much I love
thrives.
Yeah. He's got the deploy synergy for Arena when you get that Nausicaa Sergeant.
Does it all, man.
He's certainly a flexible card. I do think he's pretty good value for 7 provisions, though.
Takes this Bargus to consume the tall unit off his back row and tries to limit the frost value. Does this Bruiser need to do anything else? This is just the only turn you even get to play a Bruiser, right? You only got the 1 row of frost?
Yeah. I guess you could kill one of the Ethereals, but that doesn't feel great. Notably, Santtu placing the Barghest on the left side of all of these Ethereals, specifically so it can't be moved into an Ethereal and lose a ton of value. That is one of the few counters that exists to Ethereal in general.
Sure, for sure. Being able to save some movement.
So this is very interesting. We're seeing the Detlef Higher Vampire coming down here, which should mean that Kams is not planning to get Haunt. He is likely then going to get Oberon Conqueror instead.
Yup. I imagine that was part of the plan as soon as he missed both of those against the Bomb Heaver deck, but definitely more telegraphed now.
Yeah, I mean, technically he still has 2 Death Wishes, but that's usually not how you go about it if you're trying to play the Desert Banshee out.
Looks like Santtu is going to be playing around this Bruiser, just not play any of the units to the ranged row until there are no more rooms for Ethereals to transform, yeah.
And floating that that charge on Barghest is good for this exact strategy because that means he can consume something and then immediately fill the space and not give an opportunity for movement.
Yep.
Okay. There's a natural selection.
4-point card. Trades with the...
Got its 4 points.
Both players had a 4-point card in hand. Santtu's got a Heaver. Kams has his Nat selection. Now the
I do kind of like that deciding screen coming up. Maybe at one point they'll have like the mulligans side by side, but I guess it's not too terrible when you've got the both hands visible.
The deciding screen always surprises me. I never know what's happening when it pops up.
Fair. It's just I don't know why I expected this client to be less smooth. I'm actually really enjoying this.
Yeah, it looks good. You're able to easily mouse over things, look at decks, look at graveyards. If you miss a play, just check the graveyard. Does the play log work? The play log does work.
Wow. Nice. Yeah. Oh!
Here we are.
Well, I guess that just gets consumed anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. There were many ways of dealing with this.
Oh, my day has come. This is looking a lot like Santtu's game. There are still 2 charges on Overwhelming Hunger, of course. But Santtu's got a lot of points left.
Yeah, this beast is still growing. He's got a Neuromancy for whatever he needs.
Probably Wrath, I guess.
Probably.
Which would then get him a 6 if he killed Goliath with it. Although Goliath is probably the last card to be played.
Yeah. Ooh, just takes a Neuromancy for the Adrenaline Rush.
Interesting. Taking that 9 instead of trying to slap something down. We are going to see the 6s instead of higher value cards for Kams here. Although, actually, no, none of these are 6.
These are terrible.
Yeah, never mind. He's got a 4 from Oberon, which is not where you want to be.
Good old create.
I just kind of assumed that Oberon has dominance, but that's not true.
Yeah, not always ideal. Yeah, he's looking at these without...
I mean, you take the Wild Hunt Navigator for the art, right? Okay, fair.
Yeah, just kills the token off.
At this point, I guess you just play out your stuff and
Yeah,
hope it's enough points.
not a ton of play going on here. Just play points
Yeah,
and win the game.
8-point conqueror that thrives a couple times. Gonna see a dead heaver, but 38 points is a little bit of a tall order for Kams here.
Yeah, this is what, 24 on the last play? 20 plus the thrives?
Yeah. It's not that far off. It is only 4 points, but...
It's close, but not quite there.
Yeah. So that means the first match is going to Santtu. For those of you unfamiliar with the format, each player must get a win with each deck, which means that Santtu needs to win against either of Kams' decks with his Nilfgaard list.
Yep. So next up, we are going to have the opposite player on blue coin, as coin flip is controlled.
We click close, right?
I hope we do, because I did.
Great, I'm doing that too.
Uh-oh.
Oh, put us back on the main client.
Yep.
Is that supposed to happen?
I think so. We're not really in the main client, right? I can't click arena.
Fair. Oh, we got a ping.
Tournament match will start soon. I got a thing.
If you are casting this, please wait and watch here.
Uh-oh. Okay, I guess we have to wait. Well, let me see if I can get our cameras in the game, because chat was reeing at our lack of camera. This is going to be difficult.
Opponent is still getting ready. Is my opponent is getting ready? I'm a little surprised at that. I didn't know I was taking part in this tournament. Also, kind of interesting that they chose Karathi Heatwave for playing a game. Are they suggesting that a tournament match is a slog?
Possibly.
Oh, I haven't looked at chat at all. Got it up on my phone and everything.
I haven't been looking at it too much. I've mostly been focusing on the game. I probably shouldn't be here. This is good, I guess.
Oh man, you're flying.
Yeah, I don't know what the correct place to be is. This might actually be blocking hands. Maybe you have to go like here, and then I can crop the bottom, maybe? Something like that? I don't know. I can move things as necessary.
Chat was making fun of my not knowing Winter Queen's name, which fair. Yeah, I've played that card enough times, although it's never in my hand if I can avoid it. Yeah.
So are we good to keep going, or am I supposed to be?
I have hit play.
Oh, I'll hit play too. I guess everyone else has hit play as well. So here we are.
Yeah. All right. Getting into match 2. Oh, sorry, Uprising, not Nilfgaard. I forgot that Santtu did not bring Nilfgaard.
Yeah, so we got Uprising versus... Yeah, let's swap the sides. F4.
F4 you said, right?
Yes, not F5. Keep
Great.
your finger
Love it.
far away from F5.
Yeah, I'm literally approaching it from the left side of my keyboard.
Remove it from your keyboard. Just take the cap off.
I mean... I don't know about all that, but yeah. So do you see the Winter Queen get kicked? Which you do have to do.
The Winter Queen did get kicked.
Now, whereas in some matchups you want to use Amphibious Assault for Karak Frigate, it is a little less necessary when in open lists on blue if you've got TA, as there's nothing like Santtu can just know that there's nothing that Kams can do to deal with a TA'd Karak Frigate.
Additionally, even in matchups where you can AA for a Karak Frigate, I found that you often just want to AA for the Radovid's Royal Guard to protect it. Because the Radovich Royal Guard isn't dying the turn it comes out, and you get a couple extra points off of your TA. So rather than mulliganing your Carrack Frigate, you can instead just like mulligan a 4 provision card and play your...
That's true. Although there were plenty of matches I won off the back of opponents like using Stunning Blow and then not killing Carrack Frigate and then it getting buffed up again next turn.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, we were going to see a Tridem Infantry start here. Interesting. I had expected Santtu to go for that like instant Carrack Frigate Slam, but he opts instead to just build the Anna Strenger value.
There's only so much row space. Maybe he doesn't want to commit it into round 1 if he can avoid it. He's got Anna TA, and maybe that's just
true.
Enough.
I mean, Frigate is a 2 points per turn engine with just a soldier sitting by. So if Kams doesn't have a way to deal with it, that certainly is a pretty large threat in the long round.
For sure, for sure. So,
now,
we've got
is
Larvas
Santtu playing
into
Voimir?
tall units.
He's not. Oh
These
my god.
pings are taking all of the armor off the board.
Yeah, they got something out for armor.
So this natural selection gets to play for 6 if he wants to take it, but like he's still under this Anna Tridem. This is not
natural selection for
round to win.
I guess it's 6, but I mean, does Santtu just pass? No, I guess not.
He doesn't want to get bled.
I suppose so. I'm just thinking that there aren't that many cards that can do it in one. I suppose Egerin probably could. I didn't actually do the math there. But certainly 3 points a turn is, 3 points a turn is nothing to sneeze at.
It is.
And
Yeah,
Kams agrees.
Get out.
So Kams again opting to take the long round against Santtu. Although in this case it was less of a decision and more of a I literally can't keep up with this.
My opponent played Anna TA. Time to move on with my life.
Yeah. However, he did draw the Haunt this game and the Winter Queen for the second time.
Winter Queen. Is there just the single Red Riders in this deck to get the Winter Queen? No, there's 2. Okay.
There's 2, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Kams is a bold player, but not quite that bold.
I do like playing the Red Riders over Ardgith. You really only want the Frost in one round, and the Winter Queen only comes out the one time.
So apparently you're not seeing this, but for a second there, Bomb Heaver was overlapping the card that had been mulliganed, I think. And it was both a 3 and 4 strength unit with sort of a brownish blue number.
Interesting.
This is still a beta feature, so there are going to be some bugs, but that was a pretty entertaining one. I moused over and it flickered.
I'm sure we will see some of those. Ooh. Oh, this is just AA. This is the first AA, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was just to spin a crash, get a little bit of value.
Yeah, this is AA to bait the opponent to play actual cards. I don't think there's a world in which Santtu is pushing here.
I'd be surprised. Looks like everything is all set for a long round. The only reason to not would be maybe if you're worried about row space for your Carrack Frigates, but yeah, that's...
Is Santtu playing actual Lyrian Scytheman deck? He is. So it could be the case that we see something like Adalia getting a second Lyrian Scytheman instead of a Carrack Frigate.
Definitely, definitely. We also could potentially see AA pulling a gigantic Lyrian Scytheman out of the deck.
That's true too. Oh man, that double echo. Peller shows up, but probably not for long.
I don't believe Peller has any utility in this matchup.
He's out.
Yeah. Immediately.
Drummer instead. That is definitely something Santtu is happy to see here. Oh, no, he's not. Never mind. He gets Baron instead, which is definitely better. I kind of figured that he was like, oh yeah, Dahlia on that. That's going to be great. But he could also just Adalia and Carrack City Guard, and that's pretty good too.
Yeah.
I'm kind of assuming that double frigate is overkill, but maybe not.
Yeah, we'll have to see. There's definitely a couple different ways to approach this round. There are a lot of engines. Takes the Falibor on the Larva immediately.
Well, Santtu's not known for waiting around to see how things play out.
This card is in my deck to deal with this. Let's go.
Yeah. pretty much exactly that. And it's like, yep, this is what this is for. Here it goes. That is some brutal efficiency.
Indeed, indeed.
Phantom coming down now, just establishing as many edges as he can. Oh, that on Sace took approximately half a second to show up.
And that is the role of Prince. I know what my Prince wants to do, and it wants to kill a Parian Phantom.
He's here to slap, and slapping is what he will do. I was joking to Shadow yesterday when the matches were announced that this is going to take about 20 minutes.
This is gonna be a fast series.
Yeah, this is no Green Knight versus Kolomoan. These are two of the fastest Gwent players facing down. They've got points to slam, and they're going to slam them.
Oh, man. I don't know about Santtu having points to slam. He's more of an engine deck, I think. But
fair. But he knows how he wants his engines to go down, and his engines are coming down.
He knows the sequencing.
It's Santtu AAing for the drummer. I'm kind of imagining now that he kicked the drummer specifically so he could AA it.
Possibly. I guess he just knows he thinks he's not going to have enough boosted units in play to justify pulling Scytheman later.
Fair. No, I think Naglfar's Crew is a pretty awful card to play normally, but off of Oberon it gets a lot better. It does do a lot less, and it's going to actually get decent value.
It plays as a base 7, but there are already 2 Frosts in play, so it's playing as a 9, plus the Oberon boost. Assuming it doesn't die, which I don't believe it is.
True. We are seeing the Carrack Frigate come down now. Is Kams playing Parasite? Is that a threat? No, he's playing around Maruna, that's what it is.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Although we actually know that Kams does not have access to Maruna. But now it's between 2 soldiers as well, which means there's complete free sequencing for Santtu. Can basically just play the whatever he needs to next turn, except he probably doesn't want to play Carrack City Guard. But this does mean he can Bomb Heaver and not lose value off of his frigate, which is pretty nice.
Yep. Immediately clicking the frigate, and I imagine we're just snapping this Heaver off. Yep.
Yeah, he's
don't need to fiddle around. This is what Heaver's here for. I'm gonna play my Heaver. We're gonna...
I mean, of all the things to answer, you know, like, that's perhaps even the most direct one.
Yeah. If he didn't take even a second to think about Palivor, he's not gonna take a second to think about Bomb Heaver.
Yeah, now it does seem like he's opting to just lock in that Desert Banshee value. Or, yep. Rather than doing something like trying to play a slightly earlier Egern. Although I imagine that he's going to have to use a leader charge for Egern.
Yeah, probably. There is a Vizigurd.
Yeah, which does seem like the kind of thing that would answer pretty effectively.
This Werecat is going to be big.
This Werecat's going to be big, but I don't know, man. This Baron is going to be huge. The Oniromancy for Radea is also pretty large. Like, I think maybe it's a little early to call, but this definitely also feels like Santtu's game.
Now, I'm sure theoretically, if we wanted to like sit down and calculate exactly how many points each of these cards is going to play for, we could figure out who's going to win, but that would kind of not be fun, so let's just call it a very close game.
Like, I don't know if there are variables as to like what order they get played in or things like that, or what things players target, but certainly there are unknown factors in that we have perfect information and they do not.
Exactly. I imagine this Werecat's going to want to come down as late as possible, try to sweep up as many of those
green numbers.
Volunteers? I can mouse over them. Volunteers as possible. I am not used to being able to mouse over cards while casting. This is so weird.
Right? This is great.
Now, one reason to potentially take the Werecat earlier is he wants to deny boosted units from Santtu's leader, but doesn't seem
casually to be... put this pillow as a backrest here. I'm definitely not casting from on top of a bed.
We can't tell, don't worry.
Perfect. Yeah, alright, so Radea just playing for that locked in 12 value with a shield. Getting those kind of somewhat safe green numbers.
Oh, here we are. Slightly earlier Werecat try to mess with the Vizigurd and leader timing.
Although if it's not consumed immediately, there's still a lot of green numbers for Santtu.
There are. There's also only 1 leader charge left. I hadn't realized that. So there's not a
It's not
ton.
infinite green numbers.
Yeah, it's not like all of these volunteers are getting boosted. So what? This would put the Falibor and the Drummer into damage, so he would get a couple less points on his Vizigurd and his leader. But just a couple.
Yeah, potentially.
He's thinking about
Kams
it.
doesn't have no points, but oh my god.
Oh,
Well, that is a big deal.
interesting. I
I,
hadn't realized he ended his turn.
so that for sure, but also I don't know about you. I forget about the order on Carrick City Guard all the time.
That is big.
Yeah. In fact, I imagine he's still eating the werecat. Though I think it was actually more points to eat the.
The Werecat does deny a boost target for the leader.
No, I guess it is one boost target. Yeah, so it's potentially 2 points. All right, eating the werecat is probably better.
Is this still?
Oh, I was wrong.
This is Kam's
I
game.
thought this was Santu's game, but no, Kam's pulling out every last bit of points to win by exactly 1. Oh my god!
Wowie. Incredible. 1 point game.
Yeah,
1 point game after getting heavered too.
true. Well, that was a hell of a thing. Yeah, I just kind of assumed that, like, oh yeah, big long round, a lot of boosted units, Lyrian Scytheman, Visigurd, easy game for Northern Realms. But certainly Kam's putting up points with that overwhelming hunger list.
For sure, for sure. Chat's asking why he didn't leader before the Vizigurd. There were no undamaged units to buff before the Vizigurd. So by leadering the Vizigurd, you get an extra point on your Scytheman.
Yeah, I guess it's like a yeah, I mean you get an extra point on your Scytheman, exactly that. Nothing else.
Yeah, you get an extra boost on the Scytheman for losing 1 point on the Vizigurd.
Yeah, unless there's some sort of like thing you have to kill, which against Deathwish I imagine there isn't. I think he was 1 or 2 points off from being able to kill the Goliath, which would have of course been huge, but Santtu's doing those snappy calculations. All right, so final matchup now with Nilfgaard on blue, Imperial Formation, the Stefan Skellen list, against Santtu's Uprising.
Okay, we got Kams on blue again. We've got stuff going on. There's the proactive Magna Division, I suppose.
And that is pretty much it for proactive plays.
The turn 1 play.
But I suppose with no boiling oil or anything, it's not like you have to really worry about getting brick for oh, I guess you can always click the lamp and give it a couple points in shield.
True, true.
It's not like he's playing against Vincent or something.
Got the new card Karak Cutthroat coming down.
Yeah, pretty straightforward 7 for 4 that has a couple of asterisks next to it. Things like round length and getting removed. But
Purifies, living. The cool thing about it is that unlike the Adrian Mauler, which was sort of the analog to this card, if you expect your opponent to have removal, you can always just play it on the melee row and get your 6 points still.
That's true.
So you can play around different things. You can try to maximize value, or you can try to maximize value against removal. Card's cool.
Yeah, and I think CDPR is definitely making moves towards using bleeding more than direct damage for a lot of things, just because it is more of a flip on value rather than like a some kind of actual denial of value for your opponent.
Sure.
So we're seeing that getting printed on a lot of cards.
Yeah, a lot more play to bleed too. It's not just like playing for the same number of points every time. There's different ways to interact with it, like consumes and purifies.
That's true. A lot of indirect buffs to consumes lately.
For sure, for sure. Rupture.
Rupture. Ethereal. Yeah, so we're just seeing our players trading a couple of 4P bronze cards. That Magna Division value. Santtu trying to set up, maybe trying to push Kams out again using like Anna Stringer.
Just playing crossbowman, taking it pretty slow. We'll see.
Yeah, crossbowman's kind of interesting here, simply because if Kams doesn't then use his Ramon Turkanal, he's basically committing to not playing another soldier this round.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could always use Brothans to copy, but Brathans?
I've been calling it Brothans. I'm not sure exactly what the correct pronunciation is, like with many white cards.
Yeah. Fair. I kind of see like the AA and assume it's kind of like an ah, but I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be Brathans, like Athens, but with a little more Brazil.
I do not know. Looks like Santtu wants to win this round.
Santtu is ready for some points.
We are jamming our AA. We've got our Anna ticking. Putting the drummer to the other side of the Anna there. Not to maximize Anna value, but to get the buff on something that's not just going to die to poison.
Yeah, certainly got a couple of things ticking. Ooh, we're seeing now a Morale coming down. You gotta imagine Santtu's pretty happy to see that, as that is a pretty big commitment for a blue coin.
Yeah, and when you look at Santtu's hand, it's not like he has a ton of things to actually push with. He kind of just baited this Morale out, and maybe he's just gonna either get out or play a bronze or two and get out at this point.
Yeah, I kind of imagine he wants to play another bronze, because like worst case scenario, Kams passes, then he can always use Baron. Using a Neuromancy, so he's expecting a 2-round game for sure.
Wow.
I expect that he's planning to just basically say, you want to keep going? I've got 2 great cards sitting on top of my deck.
Indeed. Both players got 1 point per turn ticking, Santtu from the Drummer and Kams from the Magna Division. Now, notably, this Magna Division can eventually just get answered by Bloody Baron, which
I think has to be the play
here,
here, right?
one. Yeah, that's gotta be the thing you do.
Yep, so yeah, we're going to see exactly that. Baron comes down to answer it. Without Joachim here or anything like that, there aren't that many things that Baron is going to get huge value on anyways. So now we're looking at Santtu just drawing, I mean, the 2 pretty nutty cards, and having 1 round 1 gets to keep both of them into a long round 3.
For sure, for sure.
However, that Hefty Helga is potentially a pretty big problem for Santtu. I don't know that he has a lot of good answers to it. I guess on Sace plus the shield and whatnot actually still does answer it, but it's going to be tricky with Defender. Or I guess there's Peller for Defender. Yeah, maybe you can just answer it fine. I don't know.
We got Santtu kicking a bunch of bronzes just to find more bronzes. Feels bad.
Hey man, that's a Vesigard. Excuse you.
He drew that though. He didn't have to kick anything for it.
True.
Oh,
looks like Bushy is in chat now. Still surprised he's awake, but good on him. Yeah. So Santtu making the decision to push here. Very interesting.
Yeah, with his hands too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect this hand to be able to do very much.
Maybe just figuring he can get a couple of very important engines out of Kams or something. I mean, I could see him even taking the pass right here.
Yeah,
that doesn't seem like a great trade. Yeah.
Yeah, still just playing bronzes. What kind of short round is he playing towards? He's still got a Dahlia.
Probably Radea on Sace.
Ah, true. Radea. Radea is in the list.
Kams now with the second crossbowman tempoing ahead by just a little.
Kams short round is definitely a lot more awkward with the Skellen Bribery combo going on.
You know, another strategy of Santtu's here could just be, I've got a bunch of bronzes, I'll play them out and maybe trade them for something better. Joke's on him, Kams also has a bunch of bronzes.
Yeah. I mean, bronzes for bronzes while not losing your card isn't the worst thing that could happen to you.
Yeah, we are going to see now Visigard come down, I guess because he's opting for a shorter round. We could see Santtu also using his leader ability here.
Definitely.
But now we're coming down to the dregs of Cam's hand. It's like, alright, do you want to play a useless poison or do you want to actually commit something important?
Defender, Brothans. He could theoretically like decree for
Ooh, Hefty Helga
Tortoise
comes down.
quality in his deck, but yeah,
Now there's a card that matters.
that is a card that matters. Decree and Defender as tactics. Potentially deal 6 damage this round. And he really doesn't... I guess we know about Peller and Santtu's list. Defender doesn't do too much.
Alright, so we are seeing now a Ballista come down, potentially trying to set up a Falibor.
Looks like
Keeping in mind that we could see movement here in the case that
it's amnesty for Ballista.
Ooh, that is big.
That is big. Gets ahead too with the Helga charges.
Yeah, that might be the game deciding play there. That puts Kams in a very strong position. Don't really know why he burned a leader charge there, but it's okay.
Stay ahead of
Something.
I don't know. Just
Um,
discourage his opponent from playing another card?
oh, maybe this was an anti-Falibor measure.
Oh, true. It was the only 3
That makes
rounds
sense.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. And yep.
So yeah, now we're going into round 3 with a big advantage for Kams here, I think. I mean, looking at his hand, he's got Brothan's Defender, which means that the Peller's probably got to stick around. And the difference in draws here, though, is incredible. Oh my god. Falibor on Stace and a bronze that he's going to kick versus a brick and 2 bronzes.
Making up for the mediocre mulligans last round. Instead, getting served all of the important cards. He's got a Nero for the Redea. Who cares about this?
Only thing
Dahlia?
he missed was a Dahlia, which would have been 7 points. So.
Yeah, that's 9, right? On the Enchantress? No, I got the Enchantress.
No.
Sure.
Although, I don't know, maybe you could have purified bleeding or something. A Dahlia can copy neutrals. Oh yeah, I was about to say, can't she? But then I remembered Caravan Vanguard. Of course you can. So we are going to see just that instant Redea getting ready to answer whatever Stefan Skillen doesn't show up.
Yeah. Defender's gonna come down, I imagine, just into the Purify. Oh, not yet. Not yet.
Now, the funny part here is that purifying this might actually be the most valuable purify that Santtu can get, but he doesn't know that.
You gotta respect it.
Yeah. Oh, but getting that boosted value off the armor from the Ardfane Tortoise is actually really good here. Oftentimes it's kind of a bait to kill the armor because you're gonna get poisoned or something, but that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
And it additionally, yeah, okay, we're gonna see the
Yeah, there's no reason to not respect the
attack.
Skellen. We've got the Prince
Yeah.
in hand. Let's just not lose to something silly.
Yeah. Grabbing the Infiltrator for a couple of points. You can't really grab the Emissary because you play into on Stace the Shield. Can't really grab the Informant because why? So I guess you take the value you can, deny a couple of green numbers.
Chooses to put Vitality on...
Oh my god. Bribery against Redea, it's just not a good time.
Oh,
Which
yes.
useless card would you like? This is the case that CDPR makes.
Point card.
This is literally the case that CDPR makes for bribery. They're like, yeah, dude, sometimes it just doesn't play for shit. I mean, sorry, I probably shouldn't be swearing on stream. But
he can use all of his leader charges on the Tridom.
yeah, man, that's up to 7 points. Sick. Alright, I assume that he kills the Fion here. Nope, okay. That's fine, too.
Is this gonna be enough?
I mean...
20? Yeah. Another close one, but...
Yeah.
We got Santtu sealing it off here in the end.
Locking their Redea, classic move. 2 points, yeah. Really tight second and third matches. Literally great resisting the bleed from Kams into just drawing absolutely nothing, missing on bribery. That was a rough round 3 for him. Santtu playing very tight with the cards he did have and just pulling ahead by a smidge.
Only a smidge indeed. That was quite the series. So, what are we supposed to do in between games? Should I be just like playing one
Telling
of
jokes.
these TLG videos? We've got 4 videos that we're supposed to be able to show between games.